Valentino Garavani, titan of Italian haute couture, dies at 93, a life that redefined elegance. The global fashion world entered a period of collective mourning following the announcement that Valentino Garavani, one of the most influential designers of the modern era and the founder of the iconic Valentino fashion house, has died at the age of 93. According to a statement shared through Valentino's official Instagram account and the Valentino Foundation, the designer passed away peacefully at his home in Rome, surrounded by close family and loved ones. The announcement marked the end of an era for haute couture, one defined by refinement, discipline, color, and a singular devotion to beauty. Few designers in history managed to build a visual language so recognizable that a single shade could become inseparable from their name. For Valentino Garavani, that color was red, bold, romantic, unapologetic, and it became a symbol of timeless glamour worn by royalty, first ladies, Hollywood icons, and cultural tastemakers across generations. Public farewell in Rome. The statement accompanying the announcement outlined arrangements for the public to pay their respects. A lying in state is scheduled at PM 23 on Piazza Mignonelli for 2 days, allowing admirers, colleagues, and the public to honor the designer's legacy. A funeral mass will follow at the historic Basilica of Santa Maria degli Angeli dei Martiri in Rome. Within hours of the news, tributes flooded social media. Designers, models, editors, and celebrities shared memories, images, and messages celebrating a man whose work shaped fashion's most elegant chapters. Among the first to respond was Pier Paolo Piccioli, Valentino's former creative director, who shared a simple yet devastating message, a broken heart emoji that spoke volumes to those who understood the weight of the loss. A designer who dressed the world's most powerful women. For more than 5 decades, Valentino Garavani dressed some of the most recognizable women on the planet. His clientele included Jennifer Aniston, Gwyneth Paltrow, Nicole Kidman, Anne Hathaway, Elizabeth Hurley, Uma Thurman, Sarah Jessica Parker, and countless others. But his influence extended far beyond Hollywood. One of the pivotal moments in Valentino's career came when Jacqueline Kennedy Onassis began wearing his designs in the year following the assassination of President John F. Kennedy. Her choice of Valentino garments, including the gown she wore when marrying Aristotle Onassis, elevated the designer's global profile almost overnight. From that moment on, Valentino became synonymous with grace under pressure, elegance during public scrutiny, and the ability to make women feel powerful without sacrificing softness. From Voghera to Paris, the making of a master. Born Valentino Clemente Ludovico Garavani on May 11, 1932 in Voghera, Italy, Valentino showed an early fascination with beauty, fabric, and form. Unlike many designers who discovered fashion by accident, Valentino pursued it deliberately. He moved to Paris to study at the École des Beaux-Arts and later trained at the Chambre syndicale de la couture parisienne, immersing himself in the traditions of French couture. During this period, he apprenticed with legendary designers Jacques Foth and Cristobal Balenciaga, experiences that shaped his commitment to craftsmanship and restraint. After working for Jean Dessès and Guy Laroche, Valentino returned to Italy with a clear vision: to build a Roman fashion house capable of rivaling Paris. The partnership that built an empire. In 1960, Valentino met Giancarlo Giametti, a moment that would change the trajectory of his life and career. Giametti became not only Valentino's business partner, but also for more than a decade, his romantic companion. Together, they built Valentino into a global powerhouse, a rare example of creative brilliance paired with disciplined business strategy. Giametti managed the financial and operational aspects of the brand, allowing Valentino to focus entirely on design. Their partnership endured long after their romantic relationship ended, remaining one of the most successful creative alliances in fashion history. The power of Valentino Red. Few designers have been so closely associated with a single aesthetic signature. Valentino Red, a precise shade developed and refined over decades, became a calling card. The color was sensual without being aggressive, dramatic without being excessive. Valentino believed red represented confidence, romance, and femininity, and he used it repeatedly as a visual anchor across collections. His philosophy was famously simple. "I know what women want," Valentino said in the 2008 documentary Valentino the Last Emperor. "They want to be beautiful." That belief guided his work, resulting in garments that emphasize structure, movement, and emotional impact rather than trends. Pop culture and public recognition. Valentino's presence extended beyond the runway. In 2006, he appeared as himself in The Devil Wears Prada, cementing his place as a household name even among those unfamiliar with high fashion. 2 years later, Valentino the Last Emperor offered an intimate portrait of the designer during the final years of his career. The documentary captured his perfectionism, vulnerability, and devotion to beauty, as well as his deep bond with his beloved pugs, who became unlikely stars of the film. The documentary featured appearances from many of his celebrity clients and offered rare insight into the emotional cost of artistic excellence. A graceful exit from the spotlight. In 2007, Valentino announced his retirement, choosing to step away while still at the height of his influence. "I would like to leave the party when it is still full," he said at the time. His final haute couture show took place in January 2008 at the Musée Rodin in Paris. The event drew an extraordinary crowd of celebrities, editors, and industry leaders. Actors Blake Lively and Uma Thurman later described the show as emotional and historic, recognizing that they were witnessing the end of a defining chapter in fashion history. Honors and global recognition. Throughout his career, Valentino received numerous honors reflecting his cultural impact. Knight of the Legion of Honor from France, Medal of the City of Paris, Couture Council Award for Artistry of Fashion from FIT, Golden Plate Award from the American Academy of Achievement. Each award reinforced his status as not just a designer, but a cultural figure whose work transcended clothing. A private life lived with purpose. For decades, Valentino shares his life with Bruce Hoeksema, a former executive at the Valentino fashion house. The two lived together from 1982 onward, maintaining a relatively private existence despite Valentino's public prominence. Those close to the designer often described him as disciplined, demanding, loyal, and deeply sensitive, a man who expected excellence but gave devotion in return. An enduring legacy. Valentino Garavani leaves behind more than a fashion label. He leaves behind a philosophy that beauty matters, that craftsmanship endures, and that elegance never goes out of style. While the Valentino brand will continue under new creative leadership, the man who gave it its soul has now taken his final bow. The runways may move on, trends may change, but Valentino's vision, stitched into silk, sculpted into gowns, and immortalized in red, will remain forever.